Hey there, football fans. Mike Crook with Free Sports Press here, just coming at you with episode, not even sure anymore for Laces Out because, well, when we did the upgrade to the website over the summer, we actually lost all of our old Laces Out articles. So, no biggie, they were all pretty old. We haven't done the Laces Out series in quite a while, and we thought we'd flip the script and do a vlog style, similar to what we do with Between the Pipes for those that followed that series. So this will, we're just going to call this episode 1 for Laces Out. So in this inaugural episode per se, we're just going to be touching on kind of the struggles that FSU had with their first game, technically under, week 2 college football series, week 1 for the ACC, kind of where they go from here, and some unexpected challenges that the Noles now must face being down a head coach coming up this weekend. So stay tuned after the intro. Oh, wait, there is no intro because, hey, you know what? We haven't had time to put one of those together yet. So, again, if those of you that follow the Between the Pipe series know that we have an intro for that, and we're in the process of putting one together for this series. So, hopefully by the time we have episode 2, we'll have a cool little intro, outro, but for right now, you get nada. So, let's dive on in. So, we've had a chance to look at some of the highlights from the game against Georgia Tech, and yeah, it wasn't pretty overall. They did have a solid first half. They had a lead going into the locker room at halftime. However, things were still kind of spotty. The offensive line wasn't gelling like we were hoping they would. But you know what? It's a new team per se with a new scheme, new head coach. COVID has just been wreaking havoc on every team across the country, so you can't totally blame that because every team has struggled with the difficulties due to COVID. So there wasn't a traditional spring game, no traditional spring practice, summer practice, fall practice, all that stuff that typically goes into an opening season preparation. None of that was really there. So did that play any kind of a hand in kind of how sloppy they were? Hard to say. But we do know that going into the second half, it was definitely a game that Florida State would lose if they didn't make the correct adjustments. And it seemed like Georgia Tech made better adjustments than the Noles did. Blackman wasn't very solid under center. I will have to say that I enjoyed seeing what Travis did when he was under center. I think he went like 0 for 1 on passing, but his main claim to fame that I appreciate is that he seems like more of a dual threat quarterback. He can beat you both with his arm and with his legs, and given the right time and right coaching, he could be a solid quarterback for FSU. The problem is that all the coaches seem to be leaning towards Blackman. He was their guy under Fisher, I believe. Willie Taggart kept him under center for the majority of his time here. And he's put up decent numbers. Nothing major. But he should be a lot more polished than he is right now. Is that his fault? Offensive line? Who knows? We'll dive on that in a second, though. The Georgia Tech game, it could have been a lot uglier on the scoreboard. Georgia Tech missed a couple field goals, blocked extra points. So, yeah, there's, 7 points right there, roughly? So, could have been a lot worse. But they squeaked away with a 16-13 win over FSU on the road to kick off their season. Florida State already in the hole, and they had a bye week last weekend. And then on the cusp of that, they get to play Miami. And we've seen what Miami can do during their first 2 games of the season. They've actually been fairly solid on both sides of the ball. They haven't faced a defensive line like they've faced in Florida State, though. And pretty much I'm thinking that's going to be the make or break for FSU to stand a chance in this game is their defense stepping up, owning or being able to give the offense time to own the clock on that one. Will it make any kind of a difference in the outcome? Definitely not sure. I don't see FSU winning this game on Saturday, sadly. And being a diehard Noles fan, it's hard to pick against FSU, especially when you're picking against them on a rivalry game against Miami. That's just, it hurts, but it's the honest-to-God truth. So, what'll happen? Time to tell. But Florida State has got to respond better with adversity. They've got to scheme better when it comes to the different looks that Miami's going to give them. And they've got to make those second half adjustments. If things aren't working right in the first half, fix them. Don't keep going back to old hat thinking, oh, maybe this time it's going to work. It's not. Okay? Fix it. Correct it. Move forward. Enough said. Next topic of conversation, Blackman. My gosh. Don't get me started on this kid, okay? As a person, he's a great kid. Okay? Love him. But as a quarterback, he's had average numbers at best. You know, if you look at his 2019 stats, he went 184 for 292 on the season for a little bit over 2,300 yards. His touchdown to interception ratio was not really good. 17 touchdown passes to 11 interceptions. And he was sacked, get this, 27 times. Partly on the O-line's fault. Okay, he had a hard time getting enough pass protection during the season. Okay, but also partly on his fault. He does not know when to release the ball. There are times that you're supposed to keep it, eat the sack, I get it. But there are times that he should have found his receiver, and he was completely missing a wide open, either running back in the slot, or he had a tight end that was out there on a nice open route where he had at least 2 or 3 steps on his defender last year. And he just kept missing those open guys. So he ended up eating sacks way more than he should have because of that fact. And he should be more polished by that in his stage of his career. So not impressive stats for last weekend with Georgia Tech either. You know, it was 1 for 1 as far as touchdown interception ratio. Also 8-3 sacks in his time under center. That is not going to fly against Miami because that was Georgia Tech. Okay, nothing against the Yellow Jackets, but that was Georgia Tech. And Florida State is leaning towards being, you know, the Duke of the league at this point. They're just mediocre at best. So they need to step up the notch, and this is going to be a really good measuring stick this weekend on how far the team's come, what kind of adjustments they've made both on both sides of the ball, and how they're going to fare against a really solid quality opponent. So more to come. We'll see if Blackman's the guy or if maybe they lean towards Travis for a few downs and see what he can do. At this point, it's not going to hurt. Give the guy a shot. Lastly, breaking news that we caught while we were out camping over the weekend is Coach Norvell positive for COVID. Not gonna lie, that sucks. That sucks a lot because, you know, this is his inaugural season as the bench boss for FSU, and right now he's already, you know, kind of behind the 8 ball with the subpar performance against Georgia Tech, and now you've got a rivalry game. People were looking to see how he was going to respond as far as schemes that they put together, as far as personnel that gets to actually get out on the field in a starting capacity. So with that being said, let's take a look at some comments that Coach Norvell had in a remote presser earlier this week.
Good morning, everybody. Appreciate you being here. Obviously a little bit different press conference for me, but you're definitely excited about this week, excited about the opportunity that's in front of us. I thought our guys did a nice job through the bye week. Our focus this past week was truly about continuing to improve, developing the fundamentals, the overall understanding of our expectations, and putting ourselves in the best position for this week that's ahead of us. We understand the importance of this game, the opportunity. Excited about the showcase. With being the host of game day and opportunity to be in a primetime presentation, and it's going to be a great showcase for both universities and the opportunity that's in front of us, and the importance of this game for our team, our program, obviously our fan base. It's one of the greatest rivalries in college football, and you're definitely excited about the week of preparation ahead, and the opportunity that's in front of us come Saturday night.
Hey, on game day, will you be able to do much of anything? And also, I guess Coach Thompson, was this one of the real main reasons you wanted him on the staff, to be kind of a guy that could, not that you knew this was going to come, but just have somebody very familiar with you and how you want to run things?
Absolutely, and I'll be able to kind of serve my role up until the guys leave the hotel. We already have things in place for me to be able to be there virtually with them. Obviously I won't be able to do anything with our players in person. You'll hear this week, and we're still exploring all options of being able to you remain isolated and doing the things that I have to do through protocols. And so, but when it comes to the in-person head coaching responsibilities, and obviously the just another piece of the value that Chris Thompson brings. He's somebody that I've known since I was in college. I've got to watch him as a player. I've obviously worked with him as a coworker when I was at Arizona State. He was my offensive line coach, and he's done a remarkable job in his opportunity as a head coach. When he was at Abilene Christian, did an extraordinary job with that program and leading men, and that's something that I think is one of the greatest greatest talents of Chris Thompson is just the way guys respond to him. He's got an unbelievable heart. He's a great teacher. A very pure soul when it comes to every aspect of what he does. And I knew that I wanted him a part of this staff, not only for what he brings X and O's, but just that leadership in every other area as well.
Hey, Coach, Matt Fortua from The Athletic. Thanks for doing this. As far as you know, when will you be allowed back on the field in person with your guys? And second part is, you come to Florida State to beat Miami as a first-year head coach, not being able to be a part of that game, just on a personal level, how much does that eat at you?
Well, the first question, as long as I go through this the next 10 days, I think the last 3 I cannot have any symptoms, but anticipating that a week from today is when kind of my anticipated return will be on-field in-person activities, but obviously we'll continue to evaluate that as it goes. And the second question about not being able to be there in person, a part of this game actively with our team. I mean, it's extremely disappointing, and it's this game is one of the great games in all of college football. It's one that when I got the job, this game, Florida, those are each and every year games that mean so much to so many. It means so much to our players, to our coaches, to the program, to the fan base, to the schools. So not being able to be active during the 3.5 hours that the game's going to be taking place, it's going to hurt. But the reality is, I do get to make an impact, and I get to make an impact in every aspect of our preparation, everything leading up to it. Our guys. It's no different. Like I told them, I mean, there's times that players go down and they're not able to make a physical impact in the course of the game, but they get to make an impact in every other way. So, I get a chance to be the example for our team and continue to do my job to the best of its ability of what I can do to help impact this team to get a victory come Saturday night. And that's the plan. That's what we're all going to do. And we've got to make sure that. We adhere to the responsibilities that we have to the jobs that we're called to.
Coach, will you be elevating an analyst or a quality control guy to the 11th coaching spot with you not being on the field Saturday? And can you text message or do anything like that from your house on game night?
I can't do anything actively throughout the game when it comes to communication. If there was a coaches that are isolated, if they can be a part of the game, they are allowed to be active in it. But I don't. We've got a lot of things that we're exploring throughout that process of what it could be. But if I'm not able to be there, be present, then it would be Tony Tokars will actually go. He's our offensive analyst, and he would go to one of the to the on the field or full-time coaching positions. He would still maintain in the press box, and then Coach Thompson will come down to the field to be able to do the head coaching in-person assignment.
So, not going to lie, I mean, seems like it's going to be interesting to see how they do. He's not allowed to have any contact with the team while they're on the field. He can't chime in with text messages. He can't be on the phone. He pretty much he's just going to get to armchair quarterback the entire game and just kind of watch everything unfold. So we'll see how that happens. But I don't know what you call him, interim, temporary, whatever. Coach Chris Thompson will be heading up the bench boss duties against Miami this weekend. So we'll see. I'm sure that Coach Norvell's probably put some things in his head like, hey, you know what, I would like to see you do this, that, and the other. But ultimately, it comes down to Coach Thompson. What's he going to do in diehard situations, when push comes to shove and backs against the wall? How's he going to get the troops to rally? How's he going to get the team to respond to any kind of adversity? Because there will be adversity this weekend. I guarantee it. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough go-about. But, yeah, here's what Coach Thompson has to say about his duties as the temporary bench boss coming up.
Coach, how will Saturday's communication be different with you being on sideline, not in the box, Tony probably being an extra set of eyes for you guys, and Dillingham handling more of the play calling than normal with Mike being sidelined?
The difference, the great thing about Tony is he coached the tight ends at Memphis last year, so he's got that set of eyes, is very familiar with what the tight end role is, and then with the big picture of the offense of what we're trying to get accomplished up there. So that part of the communication will be smooth. He and Coach Dillingham have worked together, obviously with Coach Norvell. So I really don't see anything in that part of what we're doing on Saturday that'll be really any type of big change. To be honest, I'm excited about Tony getting that role.
Hey Chris, you've been a head coach before, but this is going to be different Saturday. I mean, you're going to be the head coach of the Seminoles going at Miami in a game day game. What's that going to be like?
Man, it's going to be exciting. I've been a part of some really, really great rivalry games as a coach. So, growing up in Texas, following Florida State, being a huge fan of Coach Bowden, Coach Gladden actually used to come out to Texas and recruit, and he would come clinic us on some different things. So I've got kind of a little bit of an insider's feel of some of the old, rivalry games with Florida State, Miami, just watching it from afar, and I'm really excited to be a part of that. I can't wait to to feel the energy of that game and the competitiveness of that game, and again, being in some of those in different conferences, different leagues, and getting to experience that in this league, I'm really looking forward to that.
So yeah, it's going to be a tough game, no doubt. But hey, let the chips fall where they may. This is going to be one of those asterisk seasons where, COVID, new coach, it's just so much is getting thrown in the mix with FSU. Diehard fans, don't give up hope. This is going to turn around. I'm feeling that, I don't know, something about Coach Norvell tells me that he is going to make better changes when necessary. He's going to hold players accountable both on the field and off the field. So don't think that players just kind of doing what they want and not having to be held accountable is going to be something that happens at this university now. I like that aspect of Coach Norvell, and we'll see where things play out from here. If you're new to the channel, thanks for watching this far. Hope you enjoyed the content. Leave me a comment below, what you like, what you didn't like, thoughts that you'd like for me to cover in the next episode of Laces Out. Hopefully we'll actually have both an intro and outro for that one. Time will tell. And lastly, I'd like to give a shout out to my wife because initially with the first take of this, I was decked out hat and whatnot because I had the traditional COVID hairstyle going on. It was getting long and shaggy, but I've got my sister-in-law's wedding coming up next weekend on the 3rd of October, so got a trim for that. So my wife did this. If you're looking for a trim and you live in Rapid City or Western South Dakota, anywhere in there, check out New Wave Salon. Ask for Sarah Crook. She'll give you the hookup. So without further ado, if you like what you see, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and make sure you actually turn on the bell notifications so that way you're notified when we do release new content. Hopefully we're looking to put together stuff maybe twice a month in the interim. We'll just see how things go. But thank you for listening this far, and hope you guys have a great day.